Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something that might just change how you deal with pain, betrayal, or heartache. If someone hurt you badly, don't take revenge. I know that's easier said than done. When people lie on you, cheat you, disrespect you, your first instinct is to clap back, to make them feel what you felt. But I'm here to tell you, revenge is not your job. Elevation is. Revenge is one of the most tempting emotions when we've been wronged. It creeps into your heart like a whisper that says they deserve to feel what they did to you. And in the moment, that whisper feels powerful. It feels like taking back control. You think that if you could just hurt them the way they hurt you, you'd finally feel better, finally feel strong. But the truth is, revenge doesn't free you, it traps you. When you focus on getting even, you become chained to the pain. You're not healing, you're feeding the wound. You're not rising, you're stuck in the same emotional mud that person left you in. And here's what makes it worse. While you're out there plotting and replaying the hurt in your mind, the person who caused it might not even be thinking about you. They've moved on. Meanwhile, you're stuck in yesterday, stuck in the anger, stuck in the storm they created. And that's the real loss. Revenge might feel like a win in the short term, but in the long run, it delays your growth. It shifts your focus away from your goals, your peace, your future. You can't grow while you're trying to settle scores. You can't fly while you're dragging the weight of grudges. Imagine carrying a bag full of bricks up a mountain. That's what revenge does. It makes every step heavier, every climb harder. And the truth is, the people who hurt you aren't worth that burden. They don't deserve a second of your energy, let alone the power to slow down your destiny. When you let go of revenge, something amazing happens. You create space. Space to grow, space to breathe, space to heal. That same energy you were going to spend on hate, you can now spend on building something better. You can invest it into your dreams, your passions, your self-worth. Instead of trying to bring someone else down, you use that fire to lift yourself up. And in that moment, you're no longer a victim, you become victorious. Let me tell you, real strength isn't shown in how loud you clap back. Real strength is in your silence, your discipline, your ability to walk away and keep building your life regardless of who tried to break it. It takes courage to let things go. It takes power to stay calm when every part of you wants to react. But that's the difference between being controlled by emotions and being guided by wisdom. And wisdom always leads to growth. When you choose growth over revenge, you start to realize that not everyone is meant to go where you're going. Some people were only there to teach you, not to travel with you. And that's okay. They played their part. Now it's your turn to rise. And trust me, there is nothing more powerful than someone who turned their pain into purpose, their hurt into healing, and their setbacks into a setup for something greater. Growth doesn't mean you forget what they did. It means you remember, but you no longer allow it to control you. You take the lesson and leave the anger. You take the wisdom and leave the bitterness. And every time you do that, you break a cycle. You build character. You level up. That's how freedom is born. That's how peace is earned. Not by revenge, but by rising. So every time you feel that fire inside, that urge to make someone pay for what they did to you, pause, breathe. Remind yourself, revenge keeps you stuck, but growth sets you free. Betrayal cuts deep. It's one of those things that doesn't just hurt your heart, it shakes your soul. It comes from people you trusted, people you believed in, people you never expected to turn their back on you. And when that kind of pain hits, the natural instinct is to lash out, to let them know they messed with the wrong one. But I want you to understand something. The most powerful response to betrayal is not revenge, not anger, not bitterness, it's elevation. Elevation means rising above the nonsense. It means letting your actions speak louder than your pain. It means refusing to give the people who hurt you the satisfaction of seeing you break. You see, when someone betrays you, they're not just trying to hurt your feelings. In many cases, they're trying to stop your progress. They want to distract you, shake your confidence, pull you off your path. But when you elevate instead of retaliate, you send a message loud and clear. You can't stop what God has started. You can't destroy what's already destined to rise. The moment you shift your energy from trying to get them back to working on getting yourself better, everything changes. You start walking differently. You start thinking differently. You don't waste time plotting pain. You're too busy chasing purpose. You're too busy improving your mindset, your health, your goals, your peace. And every step forward becomes proof that what they didn't work. They tried to destroy your spirit, but you just kept climbing. Elevation is a mindset. It's not about proving something to them. It's about proving something to yourself, that you are stronger than the betrayal, that your life is bigger than one person's bad decision, that your story does not end in heartbreak but begins in healing. And when you rise, when you grow, when you shine, despite the darkness they left you in, you gain something far more valuable than revenge. You gain wisdom, clarity, and strength. You begin to attract new blessings, better people, and bigger opportunities because life always honors those who rise above. You don't give anyone the power to turn you into something you're not. Betrayal might make you want to become cold, distant, and angry, but that's not who you are. You're not meant to live in that space. You're meant to live in light, in purpose, in progress. When you choose elevation, you protect your identity. You don't let bitterness define you. You don't let pain become your personality. Instead, you take the hit, learn the lesson, and keep moving with grace. Think about the people you admire the most, the ones who really inspire you. They didn't get where they are by getting even. They got there by rising up. They let life, time, and growth take care of everything that was meant to fall off. They didn't chase closure, they chased clarity. They didn't chase people, they chased peace. And that's why they stand tall. Because they understood that elevation is always louder than explanation. The people who betrayed you, they'll notice when you rise. They'll hear about it, see it, feel it. And in that moment, they'll realize that what they tried to stop only made you stronger. That's the real victory. That's the kind of revenge you don't even have to speak about. Your life becomes the proof. Your peace becomes the testimony. And the more you elevate, the less what they did matters. Because you've outgrown it, you've outlived it, you've outshined it. So don't lower yourself trying to respond to betrayal. Lift yourself by living better, by loving harder, by grinding smarter. Every step you take forward is a step away from the pain and a step towards your purpose. Because at the end of the day, elevation is the best response. It doesn't just answer betrayal, it replaces it with something greater. Your energy is your most valuable currency. Every thought, every breath, every ounce of emotion you give to someone is an investment, and you have to be careful where you spend it. Too many people are out here giving away their power to people who haven't earned it, who haven't respected it, and who never deserved it in the first place. When someone hurts you, disrespects you, betrays you, the last thing you should do is make them the center of your attention. Because the moment you do that, you're giving them something they never had before, control over your peace. You have to understand that not everyone who crosses your path is meant to stay. Some people come into your life for a season, a lesson, or even just a test. And when they fail that test, when they show you their true colors, your job isn't to fix them, argue with them, or punish them. Your job is to shift your focus and protect your space, because your energy is too precious to waste on people who don't see your worth. If someone shows you they don't value you, believe them, and then move on without turning it into a show. The trap that so many people fall into is letting toxic people live rent-free in their mind, replaying the conversations, obsessing over the betrayal, thinking of clever things they could have said or done. But all that time and emotion is being poured into someone who probably isn't even thinking about you anymore. That's not justice. That's self-destruction. You're draining your power, slowing your growth, and delaying your healing, all because you've given someone your focus who never deserved your presence to begin with. You've got dreams to chase, goals to hit, peace to build. You don't have time to keep going back and forth with people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You don't have time to convince someone of your value when they were blind to it in the first place. Your energy needs to be protected like treasure, because it is. Where you place your focus determines the direction of your life. So if your focus is stuck on people who did you wrong, then you're allowing them to keep steering the wheel long after they left the car. There's a quiet kind of power that comes from walking away without looking back, from deciding you no longer have access to me, and meaning it, not in bitterness, not in anger, but in self-respect. You stop explaining yourself. You stop defending yourself. You stop showing up where you're not appreciated. And instead, you take that energy and pour it into your vision, your healing, your future. You make the decision that your peace matters more than any petty argument, any toxic relationship, any false friend, or broken promise. It's not your job to teach someone how to treat you. Your value doesn't decrease because someone couldn't see it. That's their loss, not your burden. And when you truly believe that, you'll stop wasting your strength on things that don't feed your growth. You'll stop giving access to people who drain you. You'll start showing up for yourself the way you always tried to show up for them. When you shift your focus from who hurt you to who you're becoming, everything starts to change. You stop chasing closure and start chasing clarity. You stop asking, why did they do this to me? And start asking, what can I learn from this to become better? That's when the healing starts. That's when the glow up begins. And that's when your energy starts working for you instead of against you. Your power is in your focus. Don't give that power away so easily. Not everyone deserves a seat at your table. Not everyone deserves space in your mind. Protect your energy, guard your peace. And remember, not everyone is worth your focus. Sometimes the best response is no response at all. Not because you're weak, not because you don't have anything to say, but because your peace is louder than any argument, and your success speaks in ways words never could. When someone tries to tear you down, when they lie on your name, when they try to paint a version of you that isn't real, the urge to defend yourself can be strong. You want to clear the air, set the record straight, expose them. But here's what you need to remember. Peace and success are louder than noise. You don't have to prove anything when your life is already the proof. There comes a time when you outgrow the need to be understood by people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You stop needing to explain your side because the truth is, people who really know you don't need an explanation. And people who don't want to understand you will twist your words no matter what you say. That's when you shift your energy from explaining to elevating. You stop trying to win debates and start winning in life. You stop trying to match energy and instead protect yours. That's when your peace becomes your power. Peace is not weakness. It's not passivity. It's strength under control. It's choosing your battles wisely. It's knowing that not every insult deserves a reaction and not every attack deserves your time. When you live in peace, you show the world that nothing and no one can steal your joy. That's power. That's resilience. That's grace under fire. And when you add success on top of that, when you're out here building, growing, healing, and thriving, you send a message that's louder than any clapback. You didn't stop me. You couldn't break me. I rose anyway. People talk. People lie. People twist stories. Let them. Your results will always tell the truth. When they say you fell off, but see you rising, when they say you're done, but see you glowing, when they say you're broken, but see you leading with confidence and peace, they'll be silenced by the very thing they tried to destroy. And the best part is, you didn't have to shout, you didn't have to argue, you didn't have to lower yourself. You just kept moving quietly, steadily, and faithfully toward everything they said you never have. Peace is a decision. Success is a decision. You choose to rise instead of retaliate. You choose to focus instead of fight. You choose to walk away instead of engage with what doesn't serve your future. And that's what sets you apart. Because most people want to be loud. They want to be seen. They want to win the moment. But you're winning the marathon. You're winning in silence. You're building something bigger than their opinion. You're crafting a life that doesn't require validation because the fruit it bears is undeniable. So when someone wrongs you, when they betray you, mock you, doubt you, don't get caught in their storm. Stay in your peace. Build your life. Sharpen your skills. Stay focused on your mission. Because when the dust settles, the truth rises. When the noise fades, results remain. And when you stay grounded in peace and consistent growth, you'll look back and realize that you didn't have to say a word. Your life did all the talking for you. Let them talk, let them judge, let them throw stones. You keep planning, keep growing, keep glowing. Because peace is your crown and success is your armor. And there's nothing more powerful, more dignified, or more undeniable than someone who rises with both. There's a certain kind of peace that comes when you realize that you don't have to be the one to handle everything. You don't have to take on the responsibility of making people pay for their actions. You don't have to hold on to every hurt, every betrayal, every injustice that's been done to you. When you trust that life or God will handle the consequences, you free yourself from the burden of revenge and the weight of constantly looking back. It's easy to think that if we don't make someone pay for what they did, they'll just get away with it. It feels like you're letting them off the hook, like you're allowing them to walk away unpunished. But here's the truth. No one gets away with anything. Life has a way of catching up with people, and what they do to others always comes back around to them. The energy they put out into the world, whether good or bad, will eventually return to them. And when you believe this, you stop carrying the weight of making them pay. You stop worrying about when or how they'll get what's coming to them, because you know that life or God will handle it in their own time, in their own way. When you trust that life or God will take care of the consequences, you're allowing yourself to move forward without being shackled by the past. You stop holding grudges. You stop letting anger control your actions. You stop being emotionally attached to what was done to you, because you know that your focus needs to be on your future, not your past. And when you focus on your future, you start to see how much more space there is for growth, for joy, for peace. The people who wronged you, they no longer have the power to keep you stuck. Their actions no longer have the strength to distract you from your purpose. Trusting that life or God will handle the consequences is about understanding that you are not the ultimate judge. You don't need to waste your time plotting their downfall. You don't need to chase them down for an apology, because you've already forgiven them. Not for their sake, but for your own. Forgiveness is not about excusing their behavior. It's about freeing yourself from the emotional debt they owe you. When you forgive, you let go of the need for justice on your terms. And when you let go, you let life take care of the rest. This doesn't mean that you become passive or complacent. It means you trust the process. You trust that whatever happens will happen as it should. Whether they face the consequences now or later, whether they ever recognize their wrongs or not, you understand that their actions don't define you. You've learned the lesson, you've grown, and now it's time to move forward. You trust that what's meant for you will always find its way to you, and what isn't meant for you will fall away, regardless of the drama, the lies, or the betrayal that once clouded your vision. There's a sense of liberation in knowing that you don't have to control everything. You don't have to orchestrate the consequences of people's actions. Life is much bigger than that. And when you let go of the need for control, you open yourself up to the freedom of letting life unfold naturally. This trust doesn't mean you sit idle. It means you keep doing the work, you keep moving forward, and you keep putting your energy into what you can control: your own growth, your peace, and your purpose. Trusting life or God to handle the consequences means you understand that every seed you plant, every action you take in faith has its own timing. You know that justice isn't always immediate, but it's always guaranteed. It may not happen on your timeline, but it will happen in the right time. And in that time, you'll be too busy living your best life to even notice. When you trust this truth, you release yourself from the role of the judge, the jury, and the executioner. You let go of the weight of vengeance and step into the lightness of peace, knowing that life will handle what you cannot. Your job is to keep moving forward, to keep elevating, to keep growing. Because when you trust life or God to take care of the consequences, you set yourself free. Negativity is like a heavy cloud that tries to block your sunshine. It can come from anywhere, people, situations, even your own thoughts. It's the voice in your head telling you that you're not good enough, the criticism from people who don't understand your vision, the doubt that creeps in when things aren't going as planned. And when negativity shows up, it feels like it's trying to pull you down, to slow your progress, to stop you from thriving. But here's the truth. Negativity only has the power you give it. It only has control over your life if you allow it to. There are always going to be people who try to bring you down. They may not even realize they're doing it. Sometimes it's through their words, sometimes through their actions, or sometimes through their silent judgment. But what matters is how you respond. You can't control what other people say or do, but you can control how you react. And the best way to respond to negativity is not by matching it, but by rising above it. You have a choice. Every time negativity tries to seep into your life, you can choose to let it affect you, or you can choose to protect your peace and stay focused on your goals. You don't have to engage with every negative comment or thought that comes your way. In fact, often the best response is no response at all. When you stop allowing others' negativity to dictate your mood, you regain control over your life. You stop letting them have a say in your happiness, in your growth, in your future. Instead, you let your actions, your success, and your resilience speak for you. People who thrive don't have time for negativity. They don't waste their energy on criticism that doesn't serve their purpose. They don't let hate or jealousy slow them down. When you're focused on your own growth and building the life you want, the opinions of others become background noise. The people who doubt you, who question your every move, who talk down to you, they only have power if you give it to them. But when you stop caring about what they think and keep pushing forward with faith in yourself and your abilities, you become unstoppable. You see, negativity can only affect you if you let it into your mind and stay there. And in today's world, with the constant bombardment of opinions and judgments, it's easy to let the noise of others influence you. But the most powerful people are the ones who've learned to block out that noise, who've learned to focus solely on what they can control, their actions, their attitude, their growth. These people know that negativity is a reflection of the person projecting it, not of the person receiving it. It's important to remember that negativity is often born out of insecurity, fear, or jealousy. People who are unhappy with themselves or their own situation may project their feelings onto others, but that's not your problem. What's important is how you handle it. You don't need to take on other people's negativity. You don't need to internalize their judgment. You don't need to let their doubts become your doubt. Instead, keep moving toward your goals, keep building the life you envision, and let your success be the response to their negativity. No one's negativity should stop you from thriving. No one's jealousy, criticism, or doubt should slow you down. Your life, your goals, and your happiness are yours to protect. And when you're focused on your vision, there's no room for the energy of others to derail you. The more you rise above their negativity, the more you show yourself and the world that you're serious about your success. You're serious about your growth. You're serious about thriving, no matter what anyone says. So remember, negativity is not your burden to carry. It's not a reflection of who you are. It's simply a reflection of where others are in their own journey. You can't let their limitations limit you. You can't let their fear stop you from achieving your dreams. Keep going, keep thriving, because when you stay focused on your own growth, no amount of negativity will be able to stop you.